This is Grammar Points 5-2, Lesson 41, Correlative Conjunctions. The word correlative, or the word correlate, actually means to make a connection between two different things, or more than two different things. So what we're going to talk about today is pairs of words that help you make a connection between words in your sentence. You can think of a correlative conjunction as a pair of words in a sentence that link other words in the sentence. The words that are being linked have to be either the same part of speech or similar styles and formats, and I'll explain a little bit more about that later. But basically, you compare a noun with a noun, or an adjective with an adjective, or if you're comparing a phrase, such as a verb with a prepositional phrase, then the other set of words has to be a verb with a prepositional phrase. So they have to be of a similar format when you're comparing them. There are several different kinds of correlative conjunctions, and I'm going to go through a number of examples here. There's neither nor, either or, whether or, both and, not only but also, and finally as, which has a little bit of a different style. And also you may remember that this is also how we make a simile, using like or as big as a tree, for example. The first correlative conjunction that I'll explain is neither nor. The word neither can also be pronounced neither, so you can say neither nor or neither nor. Both pronunciations are acceptable. You can think of neither nor as in not A and not B. So there are two things and you're excluding both of them. For example, it will neither rain nor snow tomorrow. So rain and snow are both nouns and they're of basically equal value, and it will not rain and it will not snow tomorrow, is what you're saying. We have neither reading nor writing homework. So reading and writing are being compared. In fact, to follow the rule exactly, I probably should have put homework here. We have neither reading homework nor writing homework. That way they are of exactly equal value. Neither the river nor the lake has pesticides. So river, lake, you got two nouns again that are of equal value. Note also that the article was included in both cases. Even though it's common in spoken language to say neither the river nor lake has pesticides, you really should include the article in both examples. Here also, either can be pronounced either or either, and either or is the exact opposite of neither nor. In this case, you're saying A or B, but not both of them. Here are some examples. Either John or Sally must stay home today to wait for the call. John and Sally, two proper nouns, so they're of equal value, but only one of them is going to stay home. Sally will stay or John will stay, but not both of them. In the next example, the class will either do a project or give a speech. Either do a project, give a speech. Starts with a verb, both start with a verb and with a noun. Article in the middle, so they're of equal value. The next one, it seems that, the shirt I want to wear is always either dirty or being washed. Now, this one's kind of breaking the rule a little bit, but being washed is a way of describing, it's kind of like an adjective. So dirty is an adjective, being washed is an adjective, and both of them are describing this shirt. So the shirt never seems to be clean and ready to be worn. It's either always dirty or it's always being washed, but it's never in the closet ready to be worn. Whether or is another correlative conjunction, and in this case it's used to show different conditions in a sentence and how they're connected. So if you look at the first example, we will go fishing tomorrow. That's the main part of the sentence, and then you're giving the condition. Whether it rains or shines. So rains, shines, was being connected. Here again, I probably should have put it in there, whether it rains or it shines, to make it exactly equal. But rains and shines are basically of equal value, but in this case, they're of opposite, right? If it's a rainy day or it's a sunshiny day, we're going to go anyway. So it's showing these opposites. The next one, whether the popcorn or the soda is bad, we will still enjoy the movie. So we will still enjoy the movie. Then the condition is the popcorn and the soda, whether they're bad or not. They're being compared. The popcorn and the soda of equal value. Whether either one is bad, we will still enjoy the movie. Whether you are tired or you are sick, you must still get that project done. So, you are tired, you are sick, of equal value. Whether you are tired or you are sick, and then here's the main sentence. You must still get that project done. So this is kind of the condition to that. Both and. Both and is basically the same as just saying and. I don't have to say both the boy and the girl. I can just say the boy and the girl. But when you use both, you emphasize that both of the words that you're connecting are of equal value. So you look at the man was big and tall, and the man was both big and tall. You're giving emphasis to those qualities of that person. Examples. Both the book and the movie were excellent. Again, giving emphasis to that not one was not better than the other. They were both excellent. Again, it could be done just as well by saying the book and the movie were excellent, but using both gives a little bit more emphasis. After the long trip, we were both hungry and sleepy. Hungry and sleepy, two adjectives which are of equal value. And again, when I saw the children's behavior, I was filled with both anger and pity. Anger and pity are different emotions, but still they are feelings, and they're of equal value, and grammatically speaking. And I want to emphasize that the strength or the power of those two emotions was of equal value. Not only, but also is like both and. I could just as easily say the food was enjoyable and easy to cook without saying not only, but also. But again, it gives a little bit more emphasis on the two words. But in this case, when you say but also, sometimes it's like an afterthought, that the second thing you're saying is not as important as the first thing. Like in this first example, the meal was not only enjoyable to eat, but also easy to cook. Enjoyable to eat and easy to cook both start with adjectives and a noun at the end. But because we're talking about food, of course, being enjoyable is more important than being easy to cook. Even if something was enjoyable, you're still going to go to a lot of effort to cook it so that you can enjoy the meal. But this meal is special because it's not only enjoyable, but also it's easy to cook. So grammatically, these two formats are basically equal, but this second quality of the meal is not as important as the first quality, which is that it's enjoyable to eat. The next one, the team was not only excited, but also energized. Basically, excited and energized are of equal value. And the ropes on the ship were not only decorative, but also functional. This might even have gone the other way. The ropes on the ship were not only functional, but also decorative, meaning the ropes have to be there. They serve a function on the ship. Without the ropes, you couldn't run the ship. But they're also decorative. I should have switched these around, but you get the point. Decorative and functional, both adjectives, basically of equal value. Decorative actually is a little bit of a less important value, so I probably should have put it second. Finally, we have as, and more commonly, you would often think of this as being a simile, where you're comparing one thing with another thing to give it more description. If I say the man was as tall as a tree, he's not really as tall as a tree, but I'm using that to emphasize how tall the person is. Similes are often useful in language when you cannot think of a more precise word to describe something, that sometimes comparing it with something that's completely different will help the other person to understand what you're talking about. When you use as and as, the words that are being compared can sometimes be separated by a number of words in between. So it can be a little bit more confusing, but I'll go through these examples with you. The child was as quiet as a mouse. Okay, so you've got, was as quiet as a mouse. You've got as and as, but quiet is not being compared with mouse. Child and mouse. These are the ones that are both nouns. They're being compared, and this word quiet is being applied to both of them. The mouse is quiet, the child is quiet. The next one. We found that the new director was just as tough as the old one. Okay? You've got an adjective, new, adjective, old, noun, director, noun, one, and so they're basically of equal value, and they are both tough. The old one's tough, the new one's tough. The next one. There are so few cars in this area that regular streets are just as fast as the highway. I probably should have put the. The regular streets are just as fast as the highway. That way you get article, article, noun, noun. I stuck in a little adjective there. So the regular streets and the highway are of equal value, and they are both fast, because there's not a whole lot of cars in this area, so they're both fast. So here you can see how correlative conjunctions are used to show connections between words in a sentence. You probably have heard a lot of these being used either in spoken language or in written language. Now that you know about correlative conjunctions, it would be great if you could start applying them to your writing, because it adds a new element of emphasis to your writing over just saying and or all the time. So try these out with practice and work them out in your textbook.